What's up everyone? Chase with iDub Hockey, here to review the new CCM JetSpeed FTW Women's Ice Hockey Skate. Now this is going to be a perfect fit for that girl or woman who's playing competitively up into the highest level of elite level women's hockey, because it's filled with specs that's going to help promote a better, more comfortable, and more higher performing gameplay. Now, before we talk anything about specs, we're just going to talk about the fit. This offers what they call their FTW fit. If you skated in CCM skates before, it's really a culmination of the tapered, regular, and wide fit. Because women's feet obviously do not fit and are not the same shape as men's feet. They really took the time to study and really figure out what is the best style fit we can offer. Now, first and foremost, we're going to see a much tighter heel. It's going to provide a much better heel lock. So if you're watching this and you've been using men's skates before, you've noticed some heel slippage, this is going to do a great job of addressing that. Also, women typically have a more wide forefoot. So we're going to see more of that CCM wide fit in the forefoot, so creating a much more of a tapered shape here. So again, if you've had to go up in skate sizes because they weren't wide enough, this is going to help address that issue. Last but not least, women typically have a higher instep or a higher arch shape. CCM went ahead and built a custom insole that provides a much better arch support than traditional hockey footbeds. It looks the same, but when you try these on, they're gonna feel much better, providing that fit that you've been looking for, and that has finally been addressed. But let's start talking about the specs, because this has some awesome specs we're gonna see pulled in from the JetSpeed line this year. First and foremost, step steel. This is one of the most popular options in the game today because of its pro preferred height. It's going to give you a better angle of attack so you can get into those corners a little bit better, but it also has that pro level shape. So it's giving you more custom profiling options. Also gives you a better sharpening life as well. Now these don't come profiled or sharpened, but we do offer that service along with a custom blade etching service at checkout. That's sitting in the XS holder. So with that mechanical dial system, you could swap out damaged or broken steel in seconds, keeping you on the ice and off of the bench. Also, with its mechanical construction, you never have to worry about your steel popping out during the game. We do have a vented injected outsole. I like that indentation down through the center as it adds a little bit of torsional rigidity or stiffness to the bottom of the boot. It gives you a little more energy transfer through each stride, while that vent is going to allow that moisture to escape out of the bottom of the boot, keeping you dry during the game and helping to reduce drying time after the game. Into the boot itself, this is a 2D Metaframe composite, so it has a great level of stiffness. I would say definitely towards the higher end of the scale, not as much as like an FT8 Pro or FT8, but very, very up there in terms of stiffness. So like I said, this is still gonna be a great option for that elite level skater, even though it's not priced the same as an FT8 Pro. So that's a huge win there. It's also going to be fully thermoformable along with those internal foams. So make sure you go ahead and bake these, utilize that FTW fit, gives you that custom-like fit and feel, reduces break-in time, and just makes for a much more comfortable skating experience. We have a multi-density tendon guard, which has a decent amount of flex to it, but I really like the injection construction because it adds a lot of durability. Typically is that, common wear point that we find in skates, especially for players that like to kick off their skates, which I don't recommend. And we do have a nice material on the heel as well, again, helping to protect your investment. As we look at the tongue here, this is very, very similar to what we find in the FT8 Pro. Has multi levels of foams down through the center. We also have this center channel that is all about comfort. It really helps to prevent any of that lace bite over the top of the foot, but it is just so dang comfortable. We have traditional black felt on the sides, and then a multi-density metatarsal guard over the top of the foot. Now, there's really a best of both worlds approach, because as you can tell, it is super easy to get over the tops of your feet, giving you that really aggressive angle of attack, that really aggressive positioning, but it is multi-density, basically plastic. So if you're taking a slash or a puck to the top of the foot, it's gonna do a great job of keeping you protected. I could not forget the 6mm heel shim. So this is something that you can't visually see. It's integrated into the heel and it's 6 millimeters high, and it puts you into a 3-degree more aggressive forward pitch. It's something you can feel if you look for it your first time out. Some players might not even notice it consciously, but it's really all about putting you on your toes. The JetSpeed line, whether it's an FTW or an FT8 Pro, is all about agility and quickness. Tax is all about power, and this is all about getting you up to top speed as quickly as possible, and with that forward pitch, it's gonna do just that. As we get into the liner, we see Total Dry Pro with Polygene. So Polygene is this treatment process for all the materials in the boot that helps to prevent odor-causing microbes from forming, and what that means, keeps your skates smelling fresher a little bit longer. We have 80 PT memory foam all the way throughout. They extend it all the way into the toe box, so from toe to heel, your foot is just gonna feel so comfortable inside that boot, especially when you bake these. And then we do have a nice microfiber-like material along with a anti-abrasion guard that we find on the top of the eyelets here. Again, another common wear area, so helping to make sure your skate lasts as long as possible. And then last but not least, we do have some extra large ankle pads up on the collar here for those players that are gonna be on the ice 4 to 5 times a week. This is typically a frequently irritated area as the boot tends to dig into your ankles a little bit, and that does such a great job of just fighting that. And then for the footbed, you can see this is that custom footbed with that extra arch support. Has some grit print on the top as well to help keep your foot planted, and again, keeping that arch supported. But if you're looking for even more information, or if you want to check out the entire FTW line, make sure you head over to icewarehouse.com.